Good morning. It's Tuesday, May 7th, and this past weekend was the start of the graduation season in colleges across this country. But the protests continued against Israel's war in Gaza, and that rattled colleges across the U.S. because there are many still out there protesting. And so listen to what's happened to the protests that have been going on. The graduation ceremonies began at colleges and universities. And administrators were grappling, so to speak, with major pro-Palestinian protests on campus. How do we continue a graduation effort when we have such terrible things going on the campus? I think that colleges did not need to continue the graduation ceremonies. Why didn't they just say, okay, you graduated, come and pick up your diplomas? You have struck our campuses so long. You don't deserve to have a graduation ceremony. And we, the colleges, appreciate the hard work that you have done for the last 4 or 5 years of your life. But this episode, these strikes, the positions that you have taken for and against Israel, are not what should be happening on college campuses in the way that they have been carried out. Protesting is one thing. Setting out to destroy the university attitude is another thing entirely. So, your graduation, we let you graduate. We give you a diploma, but we don't let you celebrate. We keep you at bay. Your parents suffer, your grandparents suffer. They don't have the joy of seeing you march across the stage and get a diploma. Now, the police in the University of California cleared a pro-Palestinian protest encampment without making any arrests on Sunday, so that the school was able to run their graduation ceremony in some way, shape, or form. And the school president admitted that the protesters had chosen to break the law. And he said encampments won't be tolerated on the campus. Now, if you're breaking the law, why should you be allowed to have a graduation ceremony? And some students at Princeton University in New Jersey have gone on a hunger strike, and they will refrain from all food and drink except water until their demands are met. Now, that's according to what the student protest group does. That's ridiculous. I don't know how long you think that will last. How long will it last without food and water? Without food and drinks beyond water? And most protesters are calling for their school to divest from entities that they say support or benefit from Israel's war in Gaza. Is that true? What is the benefit beyond what's good for the country of Israel and what's good for the people of the world? Our problem in this entire protest is a lack of true knowledge of the situation around the world and true knowledge of Israel's contributions to the world. So why are we defending organizations that side with Hamas? Why do we have the nerve to do something like that? This entire strike against Israel is because of a lack of the history and a lack of the knowledge that belongs to this situation. When we in this country need advice from the millions We do not need activities that cause damage. At UCLA in California, the dean, the chancellor, said urgent changes were needed in the school safety operations because of the violence during a recent protest. There shouldn't be violent protests on campus. There shouldn't be violent protests ever. I have protested several times in my life, peacefully, marching with a sign that stated our situation and our position. That's what you need. An organized strike, but a peaceful strike. Not hundreds of people yelling and screaming and carrying on like lunatics. So when school property is damaged, and when students take over property that doesn't really belong to them, it's wrong. At the Art Institute of Chicago, they arrested 68 people, including students, because of the way they demonstrated at the museum. Why do we want to destroy our institutions of learning? Because we choose to take a position that is, in many cases, anti-Semitic. Is that what we want the world to know about us? None of those things are in the minds of the protesters. At the University of Virginia, the police cleared out the pro-Palestinian protesters and took down their tents that were engrossing the campus at Charlottesville. And these officers came there not dressed in their usual uniforms, but dressed in riot gear because they feared the approach of groups of protesters grabbing away umbrellas and pushing forward the line of tents and canopies and everything. And 25 people were arrested for trespassing. So every one of these institutions is having problems. And at the University of Michigan, pro-Palestinian protesters had to be removed from the university's main commencement ceremony after interrupting it. What we do, our fellow students are graduating and we are demonstrating and preventing them from having a peaceful graduation ceremony? That's not what we should be doing. And the list of schools that have reacted like this is getting longer and longer. So I'm in favor of no graduation ceremonies. Just mail the diplomas to the family. Let them suffer for the activities of the ignorant on campus. So I'm disgusted with this entire situation, and I will leave you with that disgust. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.